Hey guys, right, as 6 o'clock comes, I thought I'd just do this video. So I do apologise again, I'm no good on videos, I do and ah a lot, I do, I do kind of lose where I am. That's just life in general, unfortunately, that's just the person I am. So I do apologise. So what I want to talk to you about is basically step-by-step guide on safely washing the car. I'm not going to get in the full process of vacuuming and what I do, and I'm not going to show you on any car. I just want to basically show you the products I use, the methods I use to safely wash without scratching. So first step by step, really the most important one is pre-rinsing the car. Gurney's jet washes are good as long as they're not full powered, diesel kind of style jet washes. You're not really going to cause no damage. Just be careful when you are doing it, especially on fresh paint, stickers, blah blah blah. So pre-rinsing is very important. It's just going to get rid of all that loose dirt that's on the car. If the car's coated, then it's pretty much all you're going to need to do. So just a pre-rinse, start from the top, work your way down, kind of go from there. So look, first things first, let's start with how I do it. The method I use is wheels first. Many reasons why. You don't want to get the car wet too early. Why you don't want to wash the car first off, then end up doing the wheels. The wheels are one of the dirtiest parts of the car to start with, so you want to kind of focus on them. Plus, you don't want all the water you've just landed on the car to dry. So start with the wheels. Pre-rinse most of the brake dust off. Give it a good gurney up. Start using wheel cleaners, brushes, different types of brushes on the market. So different wheel cleaners. So the wheel cleaner I use is actually my own brand wheel cleaner. It's an acid-free wheel cleaner, so try and get them. Try not to stay with the acid form. They cause a lot of damage if you're not in the right hands. So just kind of keep hold of the acid-free wheel cleaners. And you're a little bit safer. You can leave them on a little bit longer without causing any damage. Always start at the bottom of the wheel. So when you're actually putting the wheel cleaner on, start at the bottom of the wheel and work your way up. That way you don't get them streaky lines that everyone hates. That's a bit of a top tip. So once you've actually applied the product to the wheels, different types of wheel brushes, hopefully you can see them in the video here. So there's different types of wheel brushes, from the lug nut brushes to your wheel willies, to your sponge type, which actually are flexible so you can get in behind the spokes. Give them a good agitation, and then pre-rinse off afterwards. Once I've done that, I do like to go around with a soaking bucket of water, just designed for the wheels, and then use something like your smaller wash mitts, lamb's wool, microfiber. You can put your hands in them so you can get right in behind the spokes. That way your wheels are kind of done and complete. Once you've pre-rinsed all the soap off, hopefully you haven't missed any, your wheels are very good. Focus when you are rinsing and you are doing it. If you're using the wash mitt method after you've done the wheels, then you're going to get that great coverage. Is nothing worse than basically rolling a car backwards and then seeing that you've missed half the wheel. So the wash mitt method after you've done your brushing works a treat. So after the wheels, you kind of then start pre-rinsing, again going back, pre-rinsing the actual paintwork. So now we start at the top, we now work our way down, pre-rinsing all of the dirt, try and get all that loose dirt off first so you're not causing the scratching. Once that's completed, I always use a snow foam, so foam cannons are great. A good quality one. I've tried the cheap ones before and they don't really work. They, you can get probably for $20, $30 off of eBay or Amazon or something, but they don't work. It's all down to the actual method and the actual, I'll get it right in a second. So basically it's the aeration that basically causes the foam. So one with an adjustable nozzle, great. So you can control that foam, because different foam products need a different air ratio for them to actually get thick and foamy. So I always use the foam method. I actually use the TiVo stuff. There's different brands. I've actually got my own brand snow foam as well. But personally, the TiVo one is very good. Only 100 ml per 1 litre, and I can get 2 cars, possibly even 3 cars out of this one foam lance. So 100 ml to 900 mils worth of water gives you that 1000 mil, and you get about 3 car washes out of it. Pre-rinse, then you basically foam from the bottom of the car all the way up to the top of the windows. Let that sit for about 30 seconds. That basically starts dissolving all that dirt that's a little bit more baked onto the car. Again, if it's coated, pretty much all you need to do. let the foam do its work, then rinse it off. Rinsing again, starting from the top, working your way down. That way you're getting rid of the dirt rather than starting at the top and blowing the dirt up. So downwards. Once that's done, pre-rinse that off, get it all nice and so you know there's no foam left. Then you either got options now. 90% of that dirt should have already been gone if you're looking after your car regularly enough. If it's still on there and it still needs a little bit more work, then re-foam again. Some people don't like doing that, it's kind of a waste of product. To me, it's a safe method. So pre-foam again and then use wash rinse. So 1 bucket, 2 bucket, 3 bucket method. Lots of different methods, lots of different people using different things, lots of YouTube videos on different methods. Personally, I prefer the 2 bucket method, although the 1 bucket method is okay if you have a coated car and you're pre-rinsing, you're always on top of your car, that's pretty much never dirty, pretty much like these two behind me. So refoam, use a wash mitt, 2 bucket method. 2 bucket method, if anyone doesn't know, I'll quickly go through it. One is a bucket with about 10 litres of water in it and a bit of the bubble wash or a car wash, a soft pH neutral car wash into that bucket. Make sure it's nice and foamy. Then basically what you do after that is you have a clean water bucket. So when you get your wash mitts, like this one for instance, you dip it into the bucket with the soap on it, you then go over your car, and then you dip it in the rinse bucket on every panel. So for instance, I'll do this front guard here, I'll then dip it, rinse it in the bucket, wring it out, make sure the dirt's gone, then dip it into the wash bucket, and then go again, and vice versa, until all your car's done. If you use your foam before that, you get that extra lubrication, you get that extra foam, you get that extra soap, and that extra scratch resistancy, because that foam there is there to prevent that. So refoam, then use your 2 bucket method, perfect conditions, great. Once you've gone around the whole car, you then rinse that foam back off again, and now, hopefully, fingers crossed, you should be 100% contaminate free, ready for the drying method. So drying method, there's old school way, chamois, everyone knows what a chamois is. Unfortunately, it's old school ways now and people don't use chamois as much. For that reason is they are scratch, they do actually scratch, they actually hold dirt particles inside, it is the skin, so they actually haven't got much of a pore, so they basically, with like your microfiber, you can see that the dirt sits inside there, not on the surface. So the more plush the microfiber is, the more scratch resistance you're going to get from it. So chamois are the thing of the past now. A good quality drying towel, you can get these pretty much from any car shops now. I think you can actually see they're huge, they're big, they're very plush. You don't need to wring them out. They hold that much water in this. I can dry 2 cars in this without even wringing it out. They are fantastic, scratch-free, you know, and you can just stick them in the washing machine and a bit of detergent on them, stick them through the washing machine, and they're good as new again. So there's that, you know, always that option there. Drying with a drying towel, or if you have the luxury of having things like compressors, air blowers, anything like this, then you know, even better again. You're eliminating that touching process, which is fantastic again. So drying, once you dry, I always start with windows and things like chrome, things like black plastics, things like stuff like that, just due to the fact of they're the ones that are going to get your watermarks on them quicker if you leave it to dry too quick. So touching base about watermarks is, if you haven't already, try and get yourself something like this. A good friend of mine, George, got me this, got me into water filters. They are great. They actually help with giving the soap more foam, believe it or not. Aerates the water a little bit better. It filters the water so you get 99.9% pure water, so you don't get no calcium, you don't get them white spots on the car, you don't get the chlorine in the water. They're great. I use mine every day, and I only replace my filters once every 9 months. That's all they need to do. I uprate my filters from the factory, so the ones that these come with from stock, the cheap, again going back, cheap eBay ones, you can pick these up for about $45 with filters. The filters ain't going to last you no more than 3 weeks. So try and get the decent quality filters. I sell these for $199, including the uprated filters and all the fittings and everything else. So That's a must if you are really keen on washing your car and you're getting them horrible white spots depending on your water conditions of where you actually live. So, drying again, going back, drying, do your windows, do your chrome, do your black plastics, do everything like that, the things that get stained the most. That way you're eliminating the time basically afterwards. Then start on the paintwork, drying with the drying towel until pretty much the car is completely dry. Now we all hate them mirrors where you drive down the road after your car's dry the next day and you get all that water coming out your mirrors and stuff. That's where the airline comes into it. Other than that, you can just fold a microfiber towel up and just push it into the mirror gently, and then that way you're eliminating that process. So this is when the normal microfiber towels come into play. So again, the more plush you are, the better you get. So these are the TiVo ones, and I always use these after. It's basically like an after drying effect. So once I've dried the car with a microfiber towel, I then go with another microfiber towel, but just an ordinary one. And what this does is this will go around and pick up all them little watermarks that you're basically pushing around that are left over from when you're drying. And because you pretty much dried them off, they're more dominant because they're dry now. You've actually dried the watermarks onto the car. So a bit of spray wax. Any type of spray wax, really and truthfully, is not bad. The IO1 by, again, TiVo. So the IO1 is what I use. It gives it that super gloss, and also it acts as another lubrication when you're touching the car. So every time you want to touch the car with a microfiber towel or without a microfiber towel, always use a spray wax or a lubrication on that to eliminate your scratching. So after I've dried, I then go around as an after dry with spray wax. That's going to give me the lubrication, that's going to give me the extra gloss, it's going to remove them watermarks without having to scrub them off. And you can use this stuff on windows, on your glass, your windows, your plastics, your wheels, your brakes, pretty much anything you want without causing any damage and helping everything out in the long run. Once you've done that, you're pretty much good to go. You're pretty much to drive your car and go and get it dirty again. Now, I can't see if anyone's commented or anything like that, but if anyone's got any comments and want me to just touch base with, want to chat about, just shoot them through now, and I can try and answer a few of them, why we're still live, or I can just rabbit on about other things. So if anyone's got any questions, just pop them up. I can kind of see whether they're popping up or not, and I'll grab the phone and I can talk around a few things. While I'm doing that, I'll show you around some of the cars that I've got in the workshop, show you the workshop quickly. So, alright, so we have here, workshop, some of my favourite cars that are in this week. We're just done coating on the glass on the Porsche. We've already had the coating done on this around about, I think it was about 5 months ago now. The windows didn't get coated because the glass needed replacing, so I've just coated the windows on this thing now, ready to go. So by tomorrow morning, she should be good to go back to the customer. Great car, one of my favourites. Wasn't a big fan of Porsches until I actually get to drive this thing. It's insanely fast. It's insanely cool. Yep, one of my list of cars that I'd like to own now. So that's a pretty cool car. John is the owner. He's a great guy, a great friend of mine. Next one is, I pretty much sponsor this car. I think this car is in the workshop more than anything else. Matt likes to do a lot of skids, lots of burnouts on the racetracks, etc. And in Mexico, how it gets to Mexico a lot, I don't know. So this is Matt's Commodore. It's pretty good. It's around 600 horsepower, running nitrous. Pretty cool. Coated around a year ago now. I think it's actually up for its yearly birthday. It's had some abuse, this girl, and it still comes up as glossy as anything. It's still beautiful done. Even the wheels, we coated the wheels. The wheels still come up still clean. Even with the rubber. Thanks, Jen. Even with the rubber, just sticking to the side of the car, it just wipes off with a cloth. I think I've got some videos on that if you want to check out my page. And obviously my car's still up here. It's still clean from when I washed it the last weekend. It hasn't had a clean for a long time, so that weekend was its birthday, and I don't want to get it dirty again now, so I don't use it. So any questions? Anyone got any questions about methods, products, how to use them? Have they got their own products they want me to kind of trial for them? I'm happy to do that. Does anyone want to use any of my products? I've got them all here. You can buy them all from me. The water filters, the snow foams, even the cloths, the microfiber towels, the wash mitts, everything. We're just about to launch the new Tevo retail range, which will be great. That should be here in the next couple of weeks. That's going up into the shop, which will be up there in the next few weeks, ready to go. Just getting all the signing done and getting the flooring done now. So we are pretty much all ready for Tevo to be launched, which will be awesome. So I see there's still some people on here watching. Gordon, hey Gordon. Hey, even my dad's watching, hey Dad. So Aaron, yeah, upload it, mate. If you missed the first 5 minutes, hopefully you're still watching now. We need to get your car in for sure. So that's good. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, the workshop's getting there. The walls should be done soon. Inessa done the wall for me. She's great. All hand drawn. Still got to finish it off. Still going to have my logo put up there. Still got some more lights to be put up yet. So we're getting there. Yes, Matt, that is the actual You Tried. The world famous You Tried. Or You Turd, as a lot of people like to call it. Just going back, I'm not trying to plug, but if anyone wants to try out the IO1, the spray wax, do it. I actually have some samples here. So if anyone actually does want to do some samples and everything else, just come and give me a shout. I'll post them as well. If anyone just try this product out, I swear you will love it. You won't go back onto anything else. It is insanely good. The same as the Bubble Max. You know, I'd love to promote my own product. I actually have my own range of product here. Tire Shine, I have my own glass cleaner, my own snow foam, my own wheel cleaner. I have it all, but the Tevo just seems to be just that little bit better than mine. I suppose they pumped in more money than I have. So I have them all here if you want to try them out. But the IO1 spray wax, please try this. If you don't have it in your collection, buy it. It is insanely good. And you don't have to buy it from me. You can buy it from them direct if you really want to. I'm sure David at Tevo will be happy to sell it to you. I do have stock of it. Same as wheel brushes, microfiber towels, tire shine applicators. I have them all. Lisa, what would you want? Yes, please. What would you like? Would you like the whole kit? Just give you a quick look. Someone's pulling up outside the workshop now. Probably drop off the cars. So, give you a quick look on snow foams. Things to look out for the snow foams is to pick from the expensive ones to the cheaper ones. They all pretty much look identical. I suppose the thing is that I always pick is, without trying them, it's very difficult. But I've noticed that the cheap ones don't have the adjustable, if I can get you in there, they don't actually have the adjustable snow foam itself. So on here I can actually adjust this to widen or to, you know, to kind of narrow down the actual foam. So just look out for that when you're doing it. And also the adjustable foam nozzle as well allows the water to come through and stuff. So do that. Lisa, I can book your car in, no dramas at all. Wash samples of the wax, yeah, sure. Come and grab some. I've got plenty here. You'll be amazed. It's very, very good stuff. So yeah, so the snow foams, there's so many on the market, and it's such a big thing. I do swear blind by that they do help when washing methods, but you still need to keep on top of your car. You know, you still need to wash it regularly. You know, nothing's very good. You know, very good is in it's not going to sit there in a bubble. You're still going to have to wash it. But it's just the process, and you know, I see it so many times that scratches and swirl marks aren't caused by wear and tear on the road on cars. It's caused by washing, and it's people washing the cars wrong. So you know, you kind of need to get into that habit and get into that process of washing your car properly, or just swing it past me, and you know, I'll wash it for you, no dramas at all. I even teach you how to do it. You can come up to the workshop. We can talk through it. We can go through the processes. You can physically watch how I do it and go from there. So, what else? What else can I talk about? Anyone got any questions? Anyone got any product questions? Who have we got watching? Who's still watching? Dad, yep, I'll do your portion. Might cost me a little bit to get back though. It might be a bit of a call out fee back to the UK, but I'll come and do it. And Lisa, yeah, sure, I'll come and do it. How often should you wash your car? Good question, Jamie. Right, so basically, washing your car, you can't overwash your car, I believe. So the more you wash it, the more you're causing damage to it. No matter how good you are, you will be causing very slight damage to it. So you don't want to overwash it. If you're one of these people that love a real clean car inside and out, then I reckon ideally once every fortnight. That should be the kind of the very minimum. I think you should wash your car to keep it really clean. Most of my customers come back on a every 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks seems to be a good average. So somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, that's probably the best scenario. If you kind of wash them too quickly, if you don't wash them quick enough, and you're always going to be chasing your tail. So if you leave it any longer than 4 weeks, what happens is the dirt will just stick to it too much. It causes you a lot more work, a lot more time, to kind of get them clean. So the more work, the more time. People don't really like doing it, so you don't get the results you want. Keep on top of it, you're great. If you get it coated, even better. It takes me 15 minutes to wash a car after it's been coated and dry it. It dries so much easier. It's a lot better. And I just noticed that TiVo International actually just logged on. So hi David, hi TiVo. Glad to have you watching. So yeah, good question, Jamie. That's very good. Any other questions? Any other questions there? David, I'll bring my Ultima for you to learn to use the foamer. Yeah, you probably got the foam ratio wrong. So if it didn't work very well, you probably just had there's a lot of facts in getting that set up. Like I said, going back with the actual products itself, it's the ratio of having it with the TiVo stuff. I always use 100 ml to a liter of water. So 100 ml to a liter of water seems to be the perfect ratio for me. And on the foam gun, I do believe, David, you have the same foam gun as me. So what I normally do is, if you can see, I can get it here in the shot, there you go. So I always completely close the valve off, so you're pretty much full foam, and then open it by a quarter. That gives me the perfect ratio at the 100 ml to the 1000 ml. I find that seems to be the best. The more the foam kind of disappears, and the more you foam up in the car, the lighter you want to go. So you have a nice heavy coat first off, and then you want to go a little bit lighter, you just open up the valve a little bit more. So you probably find you had the valve open too much, or you did have the dilution rate a bit wrong. Other than that, it could be your actual gurney itself. There's two valves. Going back to the good quality ones to the bad ones, is there's two valves in here. There's two little jets. So basically, if you've got a low pressured pressure washer, you need to use the smaller jet. If you've got a higher pressure washer, then you use the bigger jet. That will give you that better, that better ratio and more foam. So if you're struggling with it, David, I think that's probably your issues. Is you either got the wrong jet inside, or the ratio is wrong. But bring it up by all means, and I can show you the different methods. Anything else? Why does dog hair get stuck deep into the seats and it's impossible to get out? Well, Christina, that's one thing, is you haven't had your seats coated. No, basically what happens with the dog hair is it actually penetrates into the seat. It's like a needle, it goes in, and there's no magic way, unfortunately. There's no quick and easy way of getting dog hair out of seats. What you have to do is try and find the way that the hair went in and then vacuum it out the other way. There is detailing stones. Let me grab one here. So there's detailing stones here that can be used. There's a lot of rubber, like rubber things that go on your fingers that you can use and try and scrape the dog hair up. That helps, but it's still a painful process. It's not very good. When I get cars in with lots of dog hair, I kind of hate it, but that's the way it goes. So detailing stones, or basically just get the rubber, even one of those oven gloves or anything like that, anything that's a rubber glove or anything, just scrape it up into a pile and then vacuum it up. The ones that get into the seats and bits and pieces are the ones you're going to have to get with a vacuum cleaner and basically just figure out the way it went in and work the opposite way out. It's a painful process, and it's one of those things. But yeah, good question for sure. If I get my seats coated, will it stop it? To a point, yes. It actually helps. It doesn't get. It kind of makes the hairs sit more flat on the seat. I find it's a lot easier for them to come out. Also with sand. Sand's a big bonus with getting seats and carpets fitted, because or you can get a dog that doesn't shed. Well done, Tracy. So sand is a good thing as well, because sand, obviously, in carpets, as we all know, you vacuum it just pings from one end to the other, and you're forever chasing your tail. Well, I find that basically with the actual carpets and seats coated, the sand just sits on top. It doesn't get right into the fibers, so it makes life a lot easier to vacuum out. So by all means, yes, it will help. It's not going to stop it, but it will help, and it will be so much quicker. Tivo, detailing stone, isn't that a clay? No, clay is completely different. A detailing stone is actually a hard stone that you use to scrape it on the carpet and the mats and bits and pieces, and it does pick up the dog hair quite easily. It's like a rubber detailing glove that we all use. It's just a different kind of product, different process. Clay is something different. If we all want to talk about clays, what clays do, does anyone want to hear about what clays does, or am I rabbiting on? Does everyone want to go? I know we've got 15 people watching, so let's start seeing if they drop. Does anyone want to know what a clay bar actually does? It's a big thing in detailing, and a lot of people can cause a lot of damage if they don't actually know what it is and what it does. But it's something you can go and buy from any of the car retailers. So does anyone want to know what it is, or does anyone have any other questions? What's the best way to get rid of watermarks on paint, Jamie? Watermarks on paint, the best thing is to try and stop that happening. So with water filters and bits and pieces, that is the best way to eliminate watermarks getting on there. But if you have watermarks on the paint already, you pretty much have to buff them out. What it does is the watermarks are actually the calcium stains that actually stain the clear coat. So the white rings you get are actually the calcium marks that stain into the clear coat and actually penetrate into the clear. So if you haven't got your car protected, or you haven't got coatings, or you haven't got a good quality coat of wax on there, you start getting these watermarks, and they start etching into the paint. Same as the glass, you get the watermarks on the glass, same thing. So best way is to eliminate them. If you have got them already, buffing's pretty much the only way you can do it, depending on how deep they are into the clear. I've had some watermarks before where they've basically been left for so long, and the sun here on the Gold Coast is pretty strong, as we all know. So getting them out can be very difficult. So eliminate them, or buffing pretty much, unfortunately, is the only way. So it does start getting expensive. Tracy, how often should you polish your car? Good question, really. Goes back to the fact of how often do you wash the car? How often do you use the car? I get good quality coats of wax here. Willie's Garage actually do a very good polymer wax, which is fantastic. It's from the States. Unfortunately, I can't really get. I can't actually get it in anymore. I'm trying my hardest to get some more in because I am running low on it myself. But yeah, a good Palmer wax will basically last you about 9 months. The Canova waxes you can get between 9 to 12 months depending on how you use the car. If you can't afford coatings, or you're a bit old school and you don't really understand about coatings, then yeah, for sure, good quality coat of wax once every 6 to 9 months is probably the best option to keep on top of it. If you wash your car every week and you use harsh products, you don't use pH neutral car washes, then you're just going to waste your time. So basically, you're just washing that wax off. So it's kind of pointless you really doing it if you're washing it off the next week. So try and find a decent car wash that's pH neutral. Is going to help you in the lifespan of the wax. So it's going to give you a little bit of UV protection. It's going to give you a little bit of water beading and stop anything from really penetrating into it. It's not going to stop you with the bird crap and the back crap, unfortunately. That's when the coatings really work. I can leave back crap on my car until it literally goes crusty and falls off itself. So what's the car behind us? I have 3 cars behind me. I've already talked through this, but we can go through them again if you like. Tivo, I'm more interested in the car behind you. Yes, you would be. Okay, so 3 cars. I'll go back through them again. Just make sure there's no other questions here just before I go. No, okay, right, so cars behind me. This one here is a Porsche. It's a Turbo S. Let's move the chair out of the way so you can have a good look at it. Let me turn the camera around too. Okay, so this is Porsche Turbo S. Very, very cool car. Even down to the inside. How cool does that look with the red leather? Beautiful. This thing goes insane, it sounds insane, it looks insane. Very cool. And very reflective, even the glass. Look at the glass, beautiful. There's no watermarks on this car, that I can promise you. And then my car, Chrysler 300C, just in the middle of being supercharged. That was coated about 2 years ago, and I haven't waxed it, I haven't polished it, I haven't buffed it, haven't done anything to it since. And it's still like the day it was coated. No scratches, no swirl marks, absolutely stunning. Water beads off of it still, just like the day it was coated. You're the legendary beast, that's right. This was my first car I coated with Tivo 2 years ago as a demonstration when I first met them guys and David. And this is what really changed my way of how I look about coatings. I wasn't really impressed with the others that I tried. As soon as I picked this Tivo and put it on my car, I knew it was pretty good. And then the other one, this one's been around a lot. Again, going back, this one's been around a lot. So's the owner, so I've heard. It's a very cool car, sounds very angry, built by High Torque Performance. The engine was it was basically tuned and built by High Torque. Like I say, he goes on the racetrack a bit, he does a few skids and bits and pieces, and he always runs my logo. Like I say, I pretty much sponsor this car, it's in here so much. It's pretty cool. I'll show you the inside of this, I'm sure Matt won't mind. If no one's ever seen inside a Commodore before. So there we go. Nice carbon ceramics, nice big brakes. Shed skids, not quite. This nice polished white floor doesn't really kind of like tyre marks very much. Okay, so any more questions on anything else before we call it a night at 20 to 7? Anything else anyone wants to know about detailing or products or TiVo? Has anyone got any ideas on videos that they want me to do? Do they want to see me wash a car? Do they want to know? Did you actually want to know about this and physically see me wash a car and kind of learn about that way? Some people like to actually physically see it. I can do demonstrations on how to clean wheels, how to clean the car, how to wax, that kind of thing. I can show you a difference. What I'd like to try and do is try and show you a difference between washing a non-coated car and washing a coated car. The difference in it, how the water reacts differently to it, and how the dirt is removed a lot quicker. So I try and find a car that I haven't coated yet that I can get in, versus a car that I have coated. That will probably be the winner on most people's eyes. They can physically see the difference in what it does. See the foam wash, yeah, for sure. I think that's probably my next video is going to be a case of, showing you the process of washing rather than just talk about it. So you'll see the foam wash in there. If you haven't got a foam lance yet and you have got a pressure washer, I sell them for the Karchers or the gurneys. So the different adapters I can put on there for you. If you haven't got one yet, get it. It's good. It saves time. It stops the scratching. It's great. Did David send you G-Active samples? No, not yet. They are on the order form. They are on their way. I didn't bother with samples. I've just gone straight out, all out, and just brought them. I think this is the only way. Every other TiVo product I've had has been outstanding. So, I think the G-Active range is going to be a massive hit. It's good because it's going to start being released into shops here. It's going to be in my shop. I'm going to be using it on every car. People can buy them directly from me. Each bottle, and if you haven't actually seen the range, I'll actually post up soon the range on my Facebook page, so you can all have a quick look and see what they actually are and what they look like. But they look very cool. They come in their own little box. They come in their own microfiber towels like this one, so a nice plush microfiber towel. Each bottle comes with one of these, and it also comes with a wash mitt like this one. Not so much for washing the car, just for putting on the product. So, a wash mitt to put it on, and a microfiber to take it off on every product that we do. So they do a buff coat. We do a tank mix, which for your washer jets. So you're actually using the right washer jet fluid for your windows. So after you coated your windows, you don't want to use an ammonia-based glass cleaner. So you use stuff that's actually designed for not to strip coating. So we use Safe Vision, which is their glass cleaner, which has a water beading effect on it anyway. So even if your windows aren't coated, put the stuff on and they'll be coated for the next few weeks. So it saves on everything. Same as the buff coat. The buff coat is basically a 6-month wax now. Spray on, wipe off. And then we actually do the new style of the IO one, which is you put it on after you've rinsed the car. So you've rinsed the car off after you've washed it, and then you squirt this stuff on, you leave it sit on there, and you rinse it off until you start seeing the water beading effect, and it's physically instantly. So as soon as you start pre-rinsing off, you actually see the water change from sheeting into water beading, which is awesome, fantastic, which is what you want. Doesn't really give you the scratch resistancy and the protection side of things as much, but it's great if if you are keeping on top of it. Like Jamie said earlier, washing your car regularly, once every 2 weeks. If you're actually using the spray wax on afterwards, you're constantly keeping stuff from penetrating into your paintwork. So it's super easy to come off. So if a bird does crap on it, or you do get that fallout from the road and bits and pieces, it's easy to get off afterwards. So. Just going back through, so I'm just going back through some of these comments, making sure I haven't missed anyone's comment. Or you can always put a comment up. If you've got anyone that might be interested, just tag them. If you tag the name, get them to join. if they've got any questions. Now, David from TiVo, are you still watching? Do you have any questions, or do you want to pump anything in about your new product range that might be coming in that you want to talk about? Any existing TiVo range that you want to talk about? Does anyone understand? Does everyone understand coatings? Does anyone know the difference between a wax and a coating? Does anyone? We're not talking dealership stuff now. We're talking the top of the range professional stuff. Anybody? That was my reaction too, Jamie. Probably rabbiting on now. It's getting late. I need to go home. I'm hungry. I think the wife's made chocolate brownies tonight, so I'm definitely going home, having some of those. Alright, so if no other questions, everyone's happy. So going back, I know I probably bored everyone, but look, I want to start doing these videos. I think people need to understand the difference between what I do and what other detailers are, and trying to teach people in the right methods. So if anyone has any questions, anyone has anything they want me to go through, just shoot them through and I'll do some videos on them by all means. But look, I appreciate you guys watching and bearing with me over this 40 odd minutes or so. And I will see you all guys soon, and I'll try and get some cool shots of some different cars that I'm coding through this week. I've actually got one coming up that's very rare. I'll be very surprised if anyone actually knows what it is here in Australia. So stay tuned for that one. Keep onto the page, keep liking the page, and keeping up with the support. I do appreciate it. You're keeping me in the passion, so I love doing what I do. So I thank you all for that, and I will catch up with you all soon. Thanks guys, see ya.